best OBS settings for Counter-Strike 2 are as follows. So first, in general, you're going to want to just copy the settings I have here. This is pretty standard, pretty default. Next, we're going to go into appearance. I use the Yami theme, but this doesn't really matter. On top of default style, again, not important. Moving on to stream, you're going to set up your primary stream here. Pretty simple. After you do that, you're going to go to output. Okay, this is where it gets more fun, where it gets a little bit more difficult. So we're going to start in streaming. You're going to go audio track 1, audio encoder, FF, MPEG, AAC, video encoder, NVIDIA NVEC H264, bicubic 16 samples, rescale 1280 by 720. Also, this is optimal for multi-streaming. Multi-streaming is a bit better to do in 720p. And you're just going to copy all this stuff, right? So constant bitrate, 6000, keyframe interval 2, good quality, tuning, high quality, multi-pass mode, 2 passes, profile high. You're going to check adaptive quantization, and I believe you're going to uncheck look ahead, B-frames 2, right? And then you're going to switch to recording. This stuff in the top, like your recording settings, are going to be very similar to your streaming settings, but your encoder settings for recording are going to be different, right? So if you want good recording while you're streaming, if you want good replay buffer, you're going to use this. So you're going to do constant QP rate control at 17, keyframe interval 2, preset good quality, tuning high, 2-pass, multi-pass, profile high, B-frame 2, okay, pretty similar. You're going to set all of your audio bit rates to 320, and then for replay buffer, I do 120 seconds, 3000 maximum memory, which is good. Okay, now moving on to audio, you're going to make sure that you set your sample rate to 48, and you're going to put your, headphones and microphone that you use. This other stuff's not really important. Video, I do 1920 by 1080, 1920 by 1080 because it gets rescaled in output. And then I do 60 FPS. You can always put it down to 30 if needed, but you probably won't need to, right? Hotkeys, this is custom. I use an Elgato Stream Deck, so I don't really need to do anything crazy there. And then accessibility, normal, advanced, just copy the settings I have here. One thing, some Counter-Strike guys like to put a stream delay if you're streaming. I would say probably a minute or two if you're worried about people stream sniping you, but this really isn't a problem unless you're already a known streamer, right? So now let's move into you 4-3 guys. If you're playing Counter-Strike in 4-3, it's really important that you add this setting. So whatever you're capturing your game with, whether it's game capture or display capture, you're going to right click and you're going to click filters. After that, you're going to hit the plus button and you're going to hit scaling aspect ratio, right? You're going to add that, and then you can leave it by cubic, but resolution, you're just going to put your monitor's resolution, which more likely than not is 1920 by 1080, right? So this is going to stretch that 4-3 back out, if that makes sense, and it's going to fix your problem. I'm not going to do it right here because I don't play Counter-Strike in this one. I play Counter-Strike in CS2. Moving on, let's briefly talk about how to do vertical. So if you want a cool vertical setup like me, as you can see over here on the right, I've got this cool vertical setup. You're going to download Aitum Multistream and Aitum Vertical plugin, right? You're already on the website, so I'm telling you to download both, but Multistream is going to allow you to stream to YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Twitch, Kick, whatever you want all at the same time. That's super easy to set up. I'm not going to get into the setup there. And then also the Aitum Vertical plugin literally adds, another canvas to your OBS so that you can hit your clips immediately and you don't have to get crazy. Outside of that, briefly can talk about audio. So if you want to have separate tracks for editing, just copy my settings. These tracks are going to allow you to cut your microphone, if that makes sense, separate from your desktop audio, and it just makes editing a little bit easier, especially if you got annoying ass friends talking in Discord while you're trying to record a video. Bonus tip. This is how you get rid of your keyboard clacking when you're you know, because like it's really fucking annoying. You remember playing Fortnite when you were a kid and you can hear your friend like trying to fucking build in his keyboard? That's how you get rid of that. Okay, so just copy these settings for your microphone. I'll go back briefly so you can see. But filters, noise suppression, copy this. Noise gate, copy this. Gain, copy this. Compressor, copy this. All right, you have the tools to become the next big Counter-Strike streamer. Okay, go do it, bro. You're good enough. Come on.